Yeah. Subscribe to the channel. Don't cry, my little one. As soon as possible, Lisa calmed the baby, who was crying on the bed after the injection. 4-year-old Jinya was not calm at all. And when Lisa took out the nose ring, put 2 fingers in the corners, twisted it around the axis, it turned out to be a funny little man without a head and hands. With a big butt and crooked legs, Lisa made a few steps with her fingers. The butt was crumbling. The woman became interested and stopped crying. Only sometimes she bled. "Oh, who is crying here?" Lisa whispered in a child's voice, coming closer to the girl with her crooked legs. Jinya laughed. "Such a good girl deserves a candy." The girl threw the jam from her pocket in the bag and pulled Jinya through. "Oh, she's calmed down." The father in the room flew in. "Thank you. I went to the doctor. I didn't think I should be with my daughter after the injection." "Yeah, we were walking here." The nurse walked with a handkerchief, funny, falling behind the little man. "So everything is fine. Jinya is just a smart girl, right?" She turned to the girl. She smiled, although her eyes were still wet from tears. "Excuse me, what is your name?" The girl's father turned to the nurse. Lisa, putting the little man in her pocket and lifting the bucket with water, answered, "Lisa, I have a request for you. Could you please sit with Jenny? I need an urgent conversation, and it's an hour and a half. I'll pay." The father, begging, looked at her. "I'm finishing in half an hour." Lisa grabbed the mop. "I'll sit down, no need for money." She left the room and went to finish washing the floors in the corridor of the hospital's children's department. After half an hour, having changed clothes and washed her hands as they should, she returned to the room. Father Jinya was ready to run. "What's your name?" Lisa caught him by the door. Tfut, he got completely tangled up. He clung to his head. "Roman Oligovich Vosnetsov. You can just be Roman." "Roman Oligovich. Take a book on the way back. The child has nothing to do here." "Oh yeah, of course. You didn't think about them, did you?" He again slapped his forehead. "Be careful. Knock something out of yourself." Lisa laughed. Roman laughed too, waved to them, sent his daughter an air kiss, and jumped out of the ward. "Well, how are you?" Lisa sat down to the baby. "It hurts a little." Jinya showed the injection. "Nothing. It will pass." Lisa looked around in search of something to do with the child. She found nothing. She entertained the girl with fairy tales. Then they played rock, paper, scissors. Then Jinya read the poem she remembered from kindergarten. "So, it's time to take the medicine." The nurse came into the room. "Irina." "Oh, Liza. What are you doing here?" "Yes." Father Jinya ran away for some negotiations. He asked to sit with his daughter. "I'm not in a hurry." "Oh, you've got a cool ring on your finger." Urka was envious, and she called out to her, carefully controlling the process of receiving the medicine. "What do you mean?" "I don't understand, Liza." "What do you mean?" "Don't you know?" Urka whispered so that the girl wouldn't hear. "He's rich, like, I don't even know who. And he's a widow. His wife broke up in a car 2 years ago." I had no idea. Lisa was surprised and at the same time looked at the baby with compassion. "Poor baby. It's bad without a mother. I know it by myself." "Well, don't get lost. Grab it if it floats in your hand." The nurse waved and closed the door behind her. Lisa only now understood why Jinya was lying in a separate room with her father. 2 hours passed behind the games and fairy tales. At the end, Jinya got tired and lay down. "Can you sing me a song?" She looked at the fox, and she could not refuse her, even if she had a herd of elephants in her ears. But she did it skillfully and loved it, so, covering the girl with a blanket, she quietly sang. Jinya fell asleep almost at the beginning of the verse. What a beautiful lullaby. I've never heard anything like that before. Roman entered the room with his. He was proud and confirmed his father. "Well, I'm going. Goodbye, Roman Oligovich." Lisa went up and went to the door. "Wait a minute." He stood up. "Let's go out into the hall," so as not to wake him up. He puked on his daughter. "Lisa, can I ask you one more thing?" Covering the door in the room, Roman took it in his hand. "Do not agree to sit with Jinya once every 2 days. My business is on fire. We will be discharged soon. I asked the doctor, and there will be easier for him to have a nanny." "Okay," she agreed. "Here's my number. Tell me when you need it." The girl took out a pen and notebook from her bag and wrote a number on a torn sheet. Thank you very much. I owe you. Roman raised his hand to his lips and kissed, embarrassing the fox. At home, she heard the sound of a notification. She received a round amount of money with a message. Thank you for your help. She said she didn't need money. She shook her head. Liza didn't need money. She earned well remotely. Liska, why do you need to work as a nurse? Her friends asked. Take out the pots, wash the floors, sort and grind. This is so that the blood does not stagnate, she laughed. In fact, she wanted to help people somehow, so she got a job in a children's department. She loved children, and there was always a common language with them. However, there were no family members yet, and there was no husband. There was a young man who took care of her, but she still looked at him. At the age of, girls are already selective about men. Artem, that's what he was called married periodically. But every time she promised to think. He was angry, but quickly cooled down. Liza, what are you thinking about? I love you. I have an apartment. I earn well. Even well, you can say. Artem persuaded her. Well, think about it. You're younger than you for 2 years. Does age matter? And what does that apartment have to do with it? Salary? Liza waved. And age doesn't matter at all. I'm just not ready yet. And we don't know each other that well yet. We've known each other for just half a year. Artem was? She recovered after pneumonia and quietly and calmly turned into A. And then, when I was choosing, one of the cats remained. She dialed his number. Hello. He immediately took the phone. So you were waiting for her call. Hello. She also doubted whether it was necessary. What are the plans for the evening? No plans. I wanted to take you somewhere, but you sit at home like a mouse. You only go to work and choose. Come to me. She decided. I'll cook dinner. I haven't cooked at home for a long time. She was half-made. Oh, the ice melted. Artyom was surprised and delighted. In general, I'm waiting for you all. She turned off the light so as not to listen to his jokes anymore. Sometimes Artyom just annoyed her. She cooked for the evening medallions made of foil from indica with baked sweet potatoes. She cut fresh vegetables. Minutes remained until Artyom came. The phone rang. The number was unknown, but she answered. Lisa, hello. And the voice was familiar. This is Roman Vosnezensky. Hello, Roman. Lisa was surprised. Is this your new number? You called me from another one. Something with Jinya? No, everything is fine with my daughter, and this is a new number. Jinya dropped her old phone in a basin of water. I had to buy a phone and start a new SIM. Liza, I have an unusual request for you. I don't even know where to start. Well, start first. Mom always told me that. Liza looked at the clock. Artyom should come soon. The thing is, I'm a widow. My wife died, and now we are together with Jinya. My parents are no longer young, and they're all worried about me, and even more about my daughter. They say she needs female upbringing, and they constantly interrogate me. I found a woman or not, and we are here with Jinya and gathered to them for the weekend. Could you go with us? Who was surprised by the quality of Lisa as my fiancée. After a short break, I exhaled the novel. And how do you imagine it? Lisa did not stop to be surprised. Mom, Dad, is this my fiancé whom I know for 3 weeks? Well, why are you so? And we won't say that we've met recently. Let's say for at least half a year. Jinya is not small. She will give you, laughed Liza. And I will have an educational conversation with her. She will be silent like a partisan. He also laughed. I hope not with torture. With torture, of course, I will take sweets if anything. And how far to go? Liza was interested. Yes, actually, it's on the train for a day. Do you have the opportunity to take a few days off? I'll pay. Why are you so obsessed with money? She got angry. I can take it. When are we going? We're going tomorrow morning. I'll come for you. Just tell me the address. I'll write it down. Lisa called the street and the house. Okay. Then see you tomorrow, and thank you very much. Vosnesov turned off and immediately rang the doorbell. Artem came with flowers and a bottle of wine and bowed to kiss Lisa, but she turned away. Kumin. She didn't know how to tell him that the evening would not last. It smells delicious. He wiped his hands. Artem, Lisa decidedly turned to him. My plans have changed. I need to leave early in the morning, so we won't be long today. Well, her boyfriend interrupted her. And I thought you thought and decided to agree to my proposal. Artyom, not today, please. Liza begging looked at him. Sit down at the table. Don't miss dinner. They ate silently, like a husband and wife who have lived together for 100 years and have talked everything out in the world. Well, okay, bye. Artyom was waiting at the door. What can she herself kiss him on the road? But Lisa didn't make any body movements in his direction. You'll come, call me at least. Of course I'll call. She herself would like to believe what she said. In the morning, Roman drove up to her. Lisa, Jinya looked out of the car and waved her hand. Hi, how are you? Are you not sick anymore? Lisa was delighted to see the baby. No, I'm not sick. Only my ass still hurts from injections. She grunted her nose, and everyone laughed. The car was left at the parking lot at the station. Roman took a whole coupe to go calmly, without strangers. I want to go upstairs, Jinya was delighted. She was thrown on the upper shelf, where she lay and looked out the window, sometimes commenting on the landscapes passing by. Roman and Lizzie were located downstairs. Lisa took out the medallions and vegetables prepared in the evening. She also grabbed some food. This is an eternal problem. Zora is on the train. She rolled over with a stare. No matter how tired you are before the trip, universe hunger attacks on you. Yes, I know this beast. I'm not even fighting him anymore. Roman took out the sausages, cheese, bread, a can of coffee, and sweets from the bag. They laughed so much that Jinya, having lifted her head off the shelf and seeing the full table, was delighted. I'm hungry too. I need to be fed too. The father let the child down on the ground. Everyone ate together. Then he threw Jinya back on the upper shelf, and they talked tears. The novel was interesting to the interlocutors. He traveled a lot in his youth and told very interesting stories about different cities and countries, and was very surprised to learn that the nurse Lisa works for the soul, not for money. And I also thought, what a strange job for such a girl. He admired looking at Lisa. And what's so strange? Perhaps she is also a job, people need it. Yes, I do not argue, but you must agree, usually not so intellectuals like you go to such work. He smiled with a smile. After talking all night, they started to lay down. Roman took Jinya from above and laid her down, and he climbed on her place. He laughed, saying that it was not enough to get out of there by night. Liza lay with her eyes open under the peaceful knock of the wheels. But why should I go out for a man I don't love? But who loves me? She thought. And why can't I be a person I like? But I have no idea what he feels about me. Thinking like that, she finally fell asleep and woke up in the morning from the ringing of spoons in the glasses. In the taxi, Lisa looked at the city in which she had never been before. She immediately liked it. Small, compact, with greenery. It could be bypassed in a couple of hours. They got to the parents' house in the evening. They were nice people, who were cordially welcoming an unfamiliar girl in their house. Mom, Dad, meet Lisa, my fiancée. On the word fiancé, Roman hugged her. Lisa was shocked, as she did not expect such freedom. But she had to play along, getting out of the situation. Moreover, Roman's mother paid attention to this. Liza laughed. So, this is Mom, Anna Nikolaevna. This is Dad, Gleb Sergeyevich. Roman helped her undress. Jinya, don't torture the cat. He shouted to his daughter, who, hugging the grandfather and grandmother, was engaged in infantile animals. And I don't torture him. I love him. She left the room. In confirmation of this, the murmur was followed by a sound similar to the sound of the tractor. And whose feet are these? Roman saw sneakers in the corridor. Oh, so your brother came to visit you for a couple of days. He ran around in his father's slippers in the supermarket. We said you would come with your fiancé, and he decided to celebrate. He will come soon. And you, Lisa, come in. Anna Nikolaevna led the guests into the room, and I went to the kitchen. Let me help you. Lisa couldn't sit just like that, and went to cut salad with Roman's mother. In the corridor, there was noise, cheerful men's screams, and fighting. Roman flew into the kitchen, dragging his brother with him, who returned with full packages from the store. Lisa, meet my brother. He happily pushed him in front of him. Artyom. The knife fell out of her hands. Lisa. Artyom got pale and slowly put the packages on the floor. The crows were walking in the bushes. Artyom, Liza, what's going on? Anna Nikolaevna turned one son's gaze to another, and then to Liza. The first girl came to her senses. Artyom, let's go talk. She put the cucumber down and went out of the kitchen. No talk here. We talked the day before yesterday. Artyom was as angry as ever. So, no one goes anywhere. Finally, the older brother remembered. Tyoma, I don't understand. So this is the girl who can't decide whether to come out for you or not. But Artyom immediately gave up. There is no trace of the previous threatening veto. Perhaps I will go. Liza decisively headed to the exit. Everyone was in complete confusion. They woke up when the front door slammed. Liza was not there. There was neither her clothes nor shoes. He jumped for her. He caught up with her at the exit from the entrance. Liza, wait. He grabbed her by the hand, but she pulled her out. Liza, I am very guilty to you for putting you in an awkward position. And I also had a fight with your young man, well, with my brother. I'll explain everything to him. No need. Don't bother yourself. Lisa put the sports bag on her other shoulder. I decided everything. I said goodbye to him. Only my head was spinning for so long. Lisa, I wanted to tell you that, as much as I know you, you have become very dear to me over this time. He was surprised himself that the words are pronounced so easily. If only you had given me a chance. Dad, Lisa. A surprising voice was heard from above. I'm looking for you. The child calls. You can't refuse. Roman knew her weak spot. So you give me a chance. He took her heavy bag. Let's see. Lisa sighed and went up the stairs. At home, she still talked to Artyom. Saw the theme. I tried, but I couldn't. It's not your business. God, what nonsense I'm talking about. She gathered in spirit. I don't love you. Artyom understood everything much earlier. After Lisa's confession, he left the house, and she felt guilty. But Anna Nikolaevna calmed her down. It's okay, it's okay. It's better now than later. Artyom will walk, get some fresh air, cool down, and come back. That's how it happened. Artyom came back, hugged his brother. Take care of her, Roma. She is good. At this time, Alice sang to the lullaby of Genya, who was barely able to sleep. And from that evening, they no longer parted. And even after 6 months, they made the parents of the novel happy with the long-awaited wedding. Thank you for watching to the end. If you like the story, I hope your support will be a thumbs up. All the best.